Welcome to Smart Remarks, where the makers and the takers are sometimes the same. So it's going to be a little different this week. I want to tell you about some folks I know. Those of you who know me personally might know who I'm talking about, but let's just say it's an older couple, late 60s, early 70s. They're retired. He used to work for the state, so he gets a state pension. State-funded health care, health insurance, which is actually a really good deal, better, frankly, than what I got. They also get Social Security, I believe it said. They also rely heavily on Medicare. But at the same time, they are huge Fox News aficionados. Very conservative, big Bill O'Reilly fans. And they want to tell me about, to decry the expansion of the welfare state and how this is a big problem for America. And you have all these parasites, you have all these takers that are burdening the makers and dragging down the economy. And you listen to this for so long until you have to say something. I finally the one day said, look, particularly when it comes to the state-funded health care, that's coming directly out of the taxpayer pocket. How is it that you are not a taker? And I got a blank stare for a minute, and the answer was, well, we'd be lost without that. And it just drove a point home to me, a point that's been sort of much talked about this week in the wake of the now famous Mitt Romney video shot secretly during a Boca Raton fundraiser, where he was talking about how 47% of Americans are in the pocket of Barack Obama. They're going to vote for Obama because you have 47% of Americans who don't pay taxes, who, quote, believe the government has a responsibility to care for them, who believe that they are entitled to health care, to food, to housing, you name it. These are people who pay no income tax. My job, said Romney, is not to worry about these people. I'll never convince them that they should take personal responsibility and care for their lives. And folks like the couple whom I was talking about earlier were nodding vigorously, I'm sure, at this line. It's been widely backed up by conservative pundits this week. You had Michelle Malkin, for example, tweeting that this election is about America's makers and America's takers. Mary Madeline went on CNN and said there are producers and there are parasites. Now, it never occurs to folks, such as the couple that I invoked earlier on, that maybe while they think of themselves as makers, maybe they're actually takers. If you sit down and you do the math and you find out, well, who are the people who are not paying income tax? Look at the statistics and you will find that at least 1/5 of that 47% are elderly who rely on and aren't taxed on most of their Social Security benefits. Go a little further and ask how many people receive Medicare benefits beyond what they've paid into the system. If you're in that situation, aren't you a taker? But see, the people who are in that situation and who vote Republican often don't see themselves in that light because of the life they've led and the things they've valued. They've worked hard, they've loved America, they've sacrificed. So regardless of how much they may actually cost the system, they continue to see themselves as makers and not takers. Noah Millman, writing in the American Conservative magazine, talked about, this isn't going to hurt Romney. How can he keep his coalition together with such a message of dismissive contempt? Easy. No Romney voter thinks he's talking about them. But here's the truth. Romney's standing in front of a crowd of extraordinarily wealthy donors who frankly aren't overly concerned about how much citizens have loved America or how hard they've worked. They look at the cold, hard mathematics of the situation, and the math is that if you are taking more from the system than you've put into it, you are a taker. I realize elderly Romney voters in general who might be in that situation don't think of it that way. I'd like to suggest that maybe they should, because these are the very folks who are going to acquiesce to or maybe even demand the dismantling of the welfare state in America, and they and we might not understand what the consequences are until it's too late.